Welcome to Steelman, where I discuss critical thinking topics. My name is Sylvain, and today we're gonna be discussing fallacies. So, a fallacy is a common reasoning error. Uh, it's something that we all do from time to time, whether it's willingly or unwillingly. But knowing these type of mistake will help you spot them, whether it's coming from you or if it's coming from other people. So, what is a fallacy? A fallacy, in a nutshell, is a reasoning error. It is something that we all do from time to time. So, knowing this will help you spot them either in yourself when you're talking or thinking, or in others. What exactly makes a fallacy when we're talking about reasoning error? So, as a quick reminder, we're just gonna check like what makes a strong argument. There are two things that makes a strong argument. The first one is when the premises are true, right? So this is the real condition. Like if you don't if the condition are not true, then you will not be able to have like a strong argument. And the second one is a conclusion uh, that follows the premises. Okay, so that means that the premises are supporting the conclusion, right? So if you have the two, you will usually have a strong argument. Okay, there are two types of fallacies. The first one is a formal fallacy. A formal fallacy is a fallacy in which the argument is lacking in structure. So, when you're building an argument, like you need to have your premises that support the conclusion. But if you don't have that, yeah, like it will not have like a good structure. Okay, and then we have the second one, which is more which is called an informal fallacy, which is usually correct in structure, but it fails in other elements such as the content and the context. So, like, this is a bit more subtle, but I'm going to give you some examples so that you can understand what I'm talking about. All right, example one: cats are four-legged creature, dogs are four-legged creatures, therefore, conclusion: dogs are cat. All right. So I think that most of us will be able to say that no, this is not true. But like logically speaking, if you want, I guess to use the terms and all, like why is this wrong? Because we know that like this is false, right? It's not because cats are four-legged creatures and that dogs are four-legged creatures that dogs are cat. There are a bunch of animals, a bunch of creatures that have four legs. Does that mean that they are all the same? No, 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 no. So in that case here, we could say that the premises are not following the conclusion, are not supporting the conclusion, rather, and that there is an error in the structure of the argument. And the problem lies mainly in terms of category, because cats, dogs, they are both categories. Like logically speaking, they are categories. And um, if you were to draw a Venn diagram, like the one that I'm going to show on screen, we could see that, yeah, there are a bunch of characteristics that they both share, but it the all of those characteristics, all of the characteristic of the cat and the dog do not overlap. They do not overlap, right? So the one that comes to my mind right now quickly is that cats are felines, you know, and dogs are canine. Like, and they both have like their characteristic, their proper characteristic. which makes them different from each other. But they do have some common characteristic, you know. So here, like the main part, like is really like an error. It's a formal fallacy that does not support the its conclusion. Second example: Jason is the best player on the team. If Jason is the best player on the team, he is the captain. Conclusion: therefore, he is the captain. Simple enough, right? So this one is a bit more subtle, right? We know it's a fallacy, so like we know that like yeah, it's probably like there's something that is not correct in that, okay? And here it would mainly be the context, the content in a way, probably more like the content, uh, because yeah, it's not because you're the best player on the team that you necessarily are the captain. So what does it mean to be captain in that case, right? Usually we have qualities like leadership and other qualities that do not come to my mind at the moment. But the best player does not. It just means that like he's good like on the court, right? But being the captain, it requires like other skills like leadership. Being able to pull people together, to give like the direction, to make plans, all that stuff. You could be a good player, the best player in the team, without having all of those qualities, right? And for sure, like it depends on the sport and all, but I think that usually uh, whether it's a professional or like amateur, that rule is pretty true. Like one does not equate the other, right? So here in that case, it is logically sound, but being the best does not equate being the team captain. All right, third example. So, first premise: I am the Black Panther. Second premise: the Black Panther has a suit that enhances his body. Conclusion: I have a suit that enhances my body. Right? So, here in that case, I think it's gonna be obvious. I am not the Black Panther, although I wish I would be, but I'm not. I'm not the Black Panther. Uh, so the second premise is true. Yeah, the Black Panther has a suit that enhances his body, right? True. Yeah. But the first premise is false because I'm not the Black Panther. I am not, right? So here, like the problem here, like it's mainly like that. It's a false premise. It's not really a fallacy in that case, right? Uh, because it fails on the part where like because it's not like a good argument because of the two characteristic that I gave like at the beginning, right? The first one being that the premises must be true, right? They must be true. And usually like even in fallacies, the the premises are true. And the second one is that yeah, the premises needs to support the conclusion, right? So yeah, like in that case, like for the Black Panther example, it is following that, but since the premises are not true, it fails as an argument. But it's not a fallacy, right? So like there's nuance there that I guess we need to keep in mind. So in form, there are two types of fallacy: formal fallacy and informal fallacy. Formal fallacy, which fails in structure, and informal fallacy, which fails uh, in context and the content of the argument, but as still has a correct structure. Thank you very much for listening. Put your question in the comment section. or you can also share some fallacies that you have encountered recently, so that we can have like good example and check like if we're like on the right track here. Um, on the on one of the corner, I'll be showing uh, the my playlist of fallacies, because there are a bunch of fallacies that have been like categorized and listed like for um, that like the most common type of fallacy actually. The most common type of fallacy have already been listed. So I talked about some of them in this playlist. So go check it out if you are interested in diving deeper. If you are interested in diving deeper in understanding the type of fallacy, so that you can create some better arguments. So thank you once again for listening, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.